Inside Out, released in 2015, is a fascinating yet simplistic look into our minds and the way we express our emotions. A movie that I actually didn't like the first time I watched it, but over the years has become one of my favourite Pixar films because its story resonates with me a lot, and I believe it is one of those universal films that every audience member can see themselves in. Because a story about emotions and the way we deal with them transcends languages and time. We all feel the same emotions, and Inside Out uses a core 5 to not overload the audience: joy, sadness, disgust, anger, and fear. Through these emotions, we get to see how our main character, 11-year-old Riley, comes to terms with moving home and going to a new school. Inside Out is only an hour and 35 minutes long, so does not have plenty of runtime to express everything that maybe director Pete Docter wanted to convey, but its core message about balancing your emotions is a takeaway that is very powerful. And to focus on the emotions of joy and sadness was the best way to explain what Pete was trying to say within his movie. Because the emotions are so opposite, but as the movie states, so interlinked that it boils a heavy topic about how to deal with when we feel happy or disgusted into this fun yet beautiful narrative about how being sad is okay. Joy only comes from experiencing sadness. It's that balance of emotions that is key, because you cannot always be joyous. Not only is that just an exhausting way to live, but you will start to butter up your true feelings, and when that happens, those deep problems that you have overlooked because you want to express only happiness explodes into rage. And as the movie shows us, when joy and sadness leaves, anger is the one that takes control. This is not done because anger is a funny character, but to me this is the movie telling us that when we do crack, when our worlds shatter and we feel lost, anger normally becomes the default action, a defense mechanism that we put up to shield ourselves from ever being hurt again, letting that reaction decide on important decisions, which never goes well, shown when anger was the one that put the idea of running away in Riley. And it left Riley to make a bad decision that can only be resulted by joy and sadness coming back, and joy allowing sadness to take control, thus allowing Riley to take control of her feelings again, to open up to her parents about how she feels about her move to a new city, new home, and new school.
I know you don't want me to, but I miss home.
Which in turn becomes a moment of joy as the relief of being honest to her parents creates a core memory, a joint memory that starts with sadness and ends with joy, a mixed emotion because we are complex people. Every day we use so many types of emotions: joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust. We never wake up and only use one type of emotion for the whole day. We are not like that, and we will never be like that. It is our diverse emotional roller coaster that makes us who we are. And what this movie shows us is that it can be difficult to control our emotions, to balance them out so we don't focus on just one. Being too joyous or angry or fearful all have the same setbacks as being too sad. It's not about mastering one emotion, it's about feeling all of them, because that's what defines what personality we grow into. It guides us in becoming who we want to be.
And each core memory powers a different aspect of Riley's personality. Like Hockey Island.
But the best idea Inside Out conveys is about being sad. No one truly likes to be sad. They are memories that we try to forget because it can bring a tear down your eyes just thinking about them. But sadness is a path to understanding, which is a path to forgiveness. And not just forgiveness in someone else, but to the most important person in your world, and that is you, yourself. But understanding your sadness in a memory or in a life event that is happening now can lead to you opening up towards yourself. It can allow you to understand yourself better because you see yourself at a low that you don't want to ever be in again, and through that sadness you learn how to overcome situations. Sadness, vulnerability are concepts that we avoid because why be negative? But Inside Out shows us that these ideas are important and should not just be forgotten. We've made it seem that way. Ask yourself when the last time you felt truly sad and vulnerable that you cried. Is it a no? And then ask yourself why. Is it because you are afraid to open up about those deeper feelings that are more powerful than just sadness? A revelation that you don't want to understand within yourself because you are scared of the answers. I'm like that, bottling up emotions and never letting them out. But to combat this, I began to journal this year. Not every day, not every week, or even every month. Just when I need to look deep inside myself, I would write in this book and understand why I might be feeling down or in a weird space. So when I'm feeling extra sad or my mind is swirling with negativity, I write in this journal to understand why. What's going on upstairs in my head that these feelings are consuming me? And it is through that sadness I have found a glimmer of joy that I can resolve why I'm feeling blue. Because at the end, just like with Riley, it's an issue that is not really that big. We inflate our problems in our minds to the point that they become too big and overwhelming that we cannot solve them. But it is through allowing us to feel a certain way about those problems, to write about them and let my emotions control what I'm writing, I can let those thoughts which have been circulating in my mind to be trapped on paper and not within me, where then I understand them. Normally they are problems that have easy solutions, problems that I have overthought, now gone out of my mind and now turning that sadness, that dread into a positive moment of hope and relief. I understand that it's not an easy discussion to have with oneself. I still at times avoid writing in that journal because they are difficult conversations that I am having. To look deep within is scary, but just like in Inside Out, sometimes you just have to trust the process. To trust those emotions, something that Joy at first could not do. Sadness even states that she can find her way back to HQ, but Joy, being impatient, decides to go her own way.
But Joy, we're almost...
But through seeing and understanding the importance of sadness and how these emotions allow Bebop to come to terms with him no longer being remembered.
I'm okay now. Come on, the train station is this way.
Or when she saw that sadness can allow Riley to be herself again, then Joy realizes the importance of all the emotions. And in the end, she understands the joy of being sad.